We're going to welcome now Neil Heffernan, who is professor in computer science department at Worcester Polytech, and he will present a talk on crowdsourcing paves the way for personalized learning. Talk about big data. Cool.
Excellent. Thank you, Beverly. Pardon the interruption. Actually, so who am I? And what do I actually have to bring to this table? So I'm just going to tell you something about ASSISTments. I'm going to tell you about actually our use of bandits. Bandits is a reinforcement technology technique that I think is really actually exciting. And this kind of work falls into the sort of HCI and HComp. If you don't know the HComp conference, that's the conference on human experimentation. For my background, I do a lot of work in data mining, actually, and I run a lot of experiments. And I do all this with my wife, Christina Heffernan, as we actually help run experiments inside the ASSISTments platform. So what is ASSISTments? It's a platform that teachers use to build their own content, or they draw content from our library. Students get instructional assistance, while teachers get assessment. That's the name. The ASSISTments website is actually where all this happens. We primarily actually rely nowadays on on a few big free extracurriculums. Illustrative Mathematics, Open Up Resources, and Engage New York are actually these resources. These are freely available freely available curriculums that come with problems, and we have skill builders that give practice on a topic. I could go into presentation mode. I see Beverly asking me to do that, so I'm going to hit that button. I don't know if that was part of the problem, but thumbs up, Beverly. Good. All right. So skill builder gives you extra practice. So what does ASSISTments look like? So if you were to go to the ASSISTments website, and I made a little video, a teacher can click on Illustrative Mathematics, and they pick which grade they're in, say grade 7. They go into like unit 2, they click there, they go into, I want to do the practice problems, and I'm on lesson 2. They then can pick which problems they want. All the problems you see in front of you right now are these freely available curriculum resources. You can assign it either to Google Canvas, Google Classroom or Canvas, and you can assign that there. You can give a release date to it. And then if we click over into the button, that will take us to Google Classroom. We will see the view from Google Classroom. And if you don't know Google Classroom, probably your 8th graders do because it's so widely used. A teacher can click back into ASSISTments there from Google Classroom. And since I just made a video, Christina Heffernan was the only person in my class. There's no data there yet, but let me just demonstrate what does that look like. A child can answer an open-ended question. About half the questions nowadays in math class, please explain. So all that work, Professor Lan was working on is really relevant. But I just showed some hint messages. I just clicked on 2 hint messages, and the final one was told the answer. Let me stop. That, and that gives you the quick view of what does ASSISTments look like, and maybe I'll say a little bit more about what Mr. Lan and I do, where we're using natural language processing techniques like with BERT and whatnot. I'm going to skip and just make sure people know one of the key things that ASSISTments does is it allows, and I'm going to back up here, it allows a teacher to assign a set of problems and then be able to look at the mistakes that children make in their classroom. And that's one of the key bits that's really kind of our magical component. Keeping the teacher thoroughly engaged is really important to us. So so does it work? Jeremy Rochelle is holding this book in the halls of Congress, showing me the evidence. Most randomized control trials testing interventions haven't succeeded very well. And Cooper, Sternberger, Hu, and Cooper have done a nice meta-analysis of math intelligent tutoring systems, and they kind of have some worrying claims that it leads to very small or modest effects, and they might contribute to the achievement gap. So So we conducted an experiment. I worked with actually SRI to actually recruit 44 schools across the state of Maine to actually agree to participate in either getting assessments actually this year or having to wait 2 years. These schools were paired by demographics, randomly assigned one member from each pair. And here's Jeremy presenting actually at the White House in 2016, actually where he actually was presenting on this paper, where he says teachers reliably change their practice. They actually go over a smaller number of problems, but more in depth. Students actually learn more, actually almost double actually the amount of learning actually, with this really simple intervention. And we also start closing achievement gaps. So this little graph is showing that for children below the median on the prior year's state test score, they actually did, particularly, they learned actually more than one extra year. But yeah, we still actually have effects for kids that were above the mean, a 40% actually improvement, not a doubling. But that's really difficult. It's hard to build interventions that start closing achievement gaps. So I'm really proud of the fact that we built an intervention that does that. There's a bunch of other people that are impressed with us. We're in the Evidence for ESSA site. And so what were children doing? We took every textbook in the state of Maine, actually put it into the system. Kids did their work on paper. In order to not violate the textbook publisher's copyright, actually children actually saw something like this. Open up your book, page 48, do number 20. Students back in Maine, they didn't even get different hint messages actually. So you see there's the button on the screen that says show answer is just saying we're going to show an answer. So they also did these skill builders where they get practice until they get 3 right in a row. In this case, I'm showing a screen that actually a child's doing some practice on changing a percent to a fraction. Teachers also got actual reports on how those kids did. So they're anonymized, but you see that in red, exceeded the daily limit. That reminds a teacher, wow, this child, even after doing actually 10 problems, still couldn't get actually 3 right in a row. You need to talk to that child. So our vision of ASSISTments is actually, how do we actually use our engine to do evaluation, that is to run randomized controlled trials, comparing different types of feedback. I was really inspired when I was in the state of Maine, and this guy, Mr. Crystal Siege, he wrote feedback messages for every problem in his textbook. But I was too dumb at the time to imagine anyone would ever do such a thing. So the other teachers using that textbook, they couldn't at that time actually say, oh, can I actually review Mr. Siege's feedback? Maybe I want to adopt that. Actually, that sounds a lot better than me writing it all by myself. And yet, since then, the Office of Naval Research has funded myself and actually Thanapour and Patacorn, otherwise known as March, a PhD student of mine, to actually figure out how to actually let teachers write explanations. So on the screen right now, you see this little link, I want to write an explanation or hint. And so we actually allowed that to happen. Here's the screen that kind of shows it, and they can write a hint or an explanation. Sometimes those hints or explanations would do stuff like have a little video. I don't think I'm going to actually bother showing one of these videos, but you can imagine a 20-second YouTube video that actually explains how to solve the problem. This resulted in a paper actually by Patacorn and actually Heffernan in 2020 at Learning at Scale, where we won the best actually student paper award, actually because we randomized hundreds of students to actually either getting feedback or not. And it turns out we showed that if you actually get one of these teacher created feedbacks, you learn more as measured by the next problem. So I'm expecting the Nobel Prize Committee to let me know any second that it's showing that actually getting feedback to kids actually was beneficial. Thank you, Peter. Actually, of course, I say it somewhat tongue in cheek, but that set the ground to be like, let's start experimenting with different types of feedback, actually from different teachers. So I'm happy to report that we're continuing to work on this. We just won 2 best paper or best data set awards actually by my PhD student named Prihar and others. One where we released the biggest set of experiments ever. That's the top one. And the bottom one is where we're reporting on half of the students inside ASSISTments now are getting exposed to what we call our personalized bandits. And a bandit is a reinforcement technique I mentioned at the beginning of this talk. And here we try to actually judge this exploitation trade-off to try to figure out actually how to actually explore the different teacher-created feedback messages and try to learn what worked for whom. Mostly right now, we don't have very good policies on how to do that. So we've been spending a lot of time on this, and more often than not, we actually maybe learn one thing is better than another, not where you actually get meaningful interactions like something like this. What you're really interested in when you're trying to personalize is trying to figure out, oh, in this case, this happens to be from a prior paper. Scaffolding actually gives you better feedback for lower knowledge children, where higher knowledge children just give them the solution. So personalization is what I'm excited about. And I think I'm going to say thank you, and my talk is over. And now I'm going to stop screen sharing. And
thank you, Neil.
thank you, Beverly, for the applause. I recognize I'm the
only
leave and
one.
come back, and maybe I'll be ready for the breakout room and can.
Okay, everyone cannot.
Thank you. I can
everyone
see
is muted.
clapping. I will be back in a minute.
Maybe Neil
You guys
cannot.
can move on.
Okay, thank you, Neil, for that great talk.